What are some guy tips you think every man should know? Same here. Ran track and XC from ages 9 to 17. Had good enough times to go to a D2 school. But went to a big D1 state school because I wanted the experience. Went from running 5+ miles 6 days a week to barely going out for a jog once a week. Now I have knee and ankle problems, so I can't go out as much. It's hard building your cardio back up when you basically limp for almost 2 days after running. The progress is slow to build yourself back up. Last week I ran a 5K in 22:30, which is probably the fastest I've ran a 5K since I was 17. One of the best benefits I've gotten from yoga is getting more in tune with what I'm supposed to feel. Good pain vs bad pain. I pretty frequently do my own thing during guided yoga classes. It isn't a contest of who can follow directions the best, or balance on one foot for the longest. The corny yoga way to put it is to focus on the intention or listen to your body. Another way to think about it is purely activating the right muscles, not forcing yourself into a certain position. In a forward fold, the instructor might tell you to reach for your toes, but touching your toes isn't the point. The point is feeling a good stretch in your hamstrings, and taking pressure off your back by inverting your spine, letting gravity create space between the vertebrae. If you can't reach the floor, you shouldn't be compromising your posture for the sake of straining toward your toes. Forget the toes. Stretch the hamstrings and create space in your spine. Whatever shape you're in, if you feel the things you're supposed to feel, you're doing it right. If you've been in one pose too long, if you start to feel stiff, if your joints are pinching, don't just stay there because you haven't been told to move yet. Listen to your body. If you have specific concerns, definitely bring it up to your instructor before class. They should be able to help you with modifications to get the same benefits, without the added strain and potential for injury. If easy pose, sitting cross-legged, isn't living up to its name, it may help to sit on a block, or use blocks to prop up your knees and take pressure off your hips. I don't know if you're interested, but there are chair yoga classes that tend to be a lot more accessible, with more of an emphasis on safety and not overdoing it. Get a tongue scraper. I never understood this whole tongue brushing nonsense either. You can get a specifically shaped tongue scraper on Amazon or whatever for like $5. It's gross but effective as you witness chunks of gunk scraping off your tongue on a daily basis. I'm confident the majority of bad breath is from this bacteria on your tongue, followed by not flossing properly. Food stuck in your teeth cause rot which smells. People think just brushing your teeth rectifies smells when in reality, brushing your teeth probably has the least impact on oral smells. Obviously there's other benefits, so don't stop, but flossing is probably higher up on the priority list for me as food often gets stuck in places a toothbrush won't get to. Have you ever flossed out a chunk of meat the next day and gotten a good whiff of it on the string? Imagine your breath smells like that. What baffles my mind is some girls that do some real fucking magic with their perfumes. Like sometimes, when a girl crosses your path in the street and she leaves behind an oh so sweet scent for miles but it's still not overpowering. I have a friend/ex hookup who you will know is in the room just by her perfume, but as you get closer it gets fainter and fainter. When a guy does the same and douses himself in the stuff, the smell is so assaulting I can feel it physically scrape my brain, and I'm not necessarily talking about people who don't shower. This is a great post. Just going to add one, learn some basic cooking skills. If you know how to cook, looking after your body gets easier. You'll eat less takeout, you'll probably save money. It's a great talent to break out for a date or a night with friends, Dinner parties rock, and you can make some really tasty food and be proud of yourself. If you have time to watch TV or play video games for 2 hours in the evening, you can find half an hour to do a little proper cooking. It's worth it. Learn some intermediate cooking skills and pick up a masochistic streak and you'll always be able to find a job. I've never been out of work except by choice, and if I lost my job tomorrow I'd have a new job making at least 75% as much, to get by for now, by next Friday. Might not sound as a guy tip, but that's something I felt a lot in my youth, trying to fit into the standard of a teenager. Nobody's thinking about you as much as you think they do. Get off your high horse and just chill out. Take it easy. Overthinking is 99% false speculation, and you mind playing out every scenario for you. You are just another person going through, and nobody's talking about that one embarrassing thing you did 2 years ago and that cool thing you said a year ago. Just live your life without thinking about other people's opinions. As an adult, this one especially fucks me up to this day. When I was a kid, I never got hugged, never got praised, never got support. I was just thrown to the wind, and if I ever fucked up it was always my fault. Growing up, this developed a need to always be considerate of what others were going through because it was a luxury I was never afforded. However, spend enough time dumping energy into others, you're going to quickly find you'll almost never get that energy back. This always hurt because at some point I figured at least a handful of people would recognize me dealing with trauma and give me that pat on the back my parents never gave me, but it never came. Most times when I reach out they'll give you the they're there bud, but for the most part they don't have a single clue with how to handle it. It can really drive home a feeling that nobody cares at all no matter what I do. But like you said, nobody gives a fuck about you. Most everyone is too busy dealing with their own world of problems, so you don't even become a second thought, even if you've spent a good deal of time moving worlds for them. Some people find this liberating, some people can be hurt by this, like myself. If you're the latter like me, just try and save that empathetic energy for someone who genuinely appreciates it. I mean, I'd guess the server actually chats with you after their shift and seems interested in the convo and engaging. I'd say you should shoot your shot if you were thinking about it. Remember, if she/he is being friendly during the shift and smiling, they have to cause they're told. If they stay after their shift and keep talking with you, respond, ask stuff. I think it would be safe to ask for a date or number. Also, don't go for women who play hard to get. Maybe they will like it if they are into you, but if they aren't into you they may paint you like a stalker for trying to pursue them, even if you are casual in your conversation and communication. Some women will always have a bunch of guys at their fingertips, and it's not a healthy place to even try to have a relationship with them. Don't waste your time on people. There are literally billions of other people out there who may be more compatible with you. If I could, I wouldn't have tried to seriously date anyone until I was 24 to 30. I didn't realize the going out culture was so toxic. It's like a drunk cabal of debauchery that has very little rhyme or reason beyond freeing your inhibitions. People are a mix of fun and drama. The good ones are mostly fun, and their drama will likely be real problems that can be quantified. Some people are sour, and you're looking at them with affection gives them a platform to manipulate you through artificial drama. I have had many friends and family stick with someone they are attracted to rather than a sane, rational, loving person, and it always ends the same. I was lucky and found someone in my life who is honest, kind, funny, and my best friend. Try to find someone like that for yourself and work to make the best life with them that you can. That is something you won't regret, and you never know how much time you will get with them. Not a guy, but, to chime in on your point about eating fruits and veggies, It'll also make your sweat stink less and you'll taste better, if you know what I mean. This is true for both men and women. The opposite is true for dairy in my experience. My past partner used to drink milk quite a lot and I got him to switch to oat milk. Very, very noticeable positive change in taste and texture. You'll make your whole sexual experience a whole lot more pleasant for your partner if you minimize, or even completely cut out, if you're really awesome, your intake of animal products and maximize your intake of fresh fruits and vegetables. The difference is literally night and day. Yep. One of the best arguments for meat being unnatural in our diet, on an evolutionary time scale, is that true omnivores do not see cholesterol and plaque buildup in their arteries. Seriously. Dogs, wolves, bears, lions, simply do not get atherosclerosis unless you remove their thyroid gland. Only herbivorous animals get atherosclerosis in the wild. The gunk in our arteries is most commonly saturated fats, trans fats, and dietary cholesterol. The first you normally cut down a lot by going vegan and watching your processed foods, and the latter two you eliminate completely. Hunting and access to meat may have helped us solve food scarcity issues at one time in our history, but with it causing heart disease and being as cruel/destructive an industry as it is, we are truly better off without it. Buy a vintage Gillette safety razor. For just a $50 initial purchase and like $15 on blades, you never need to worry about not being able to shave. I inherited a vintage one that sells in the $200 range and was terrified to use it. Well, I got over it and now I get amazing shaves. I bought a bulk box for retail with 500 blades for $15, free shipping, off eBay, and have been shaving daily for 5 years and still have half the case left. No more plastic water either, it's all wrapped in paper. Stop posturing. It annoys everyone, including that girl whose attention you're showboating for. Also, it makes it obvious you don't really know what you're doing. Just be yourself, but with upgrades. If you're not funny, stop cracking jokes. If you know you have skinny legs but a nice chest, stop wearing shorts and put on a tighter t-shirt, i.e. learn to dress for you. Develop a passion. Things are way more accessible nowadays. There are online tutorials for nearly anything you could think of learning about. It's an amazing age to live in. Don't be boring. Most of the things that men are told, as boys, are girl things are actually basic human being things. If you head into adult life thinking tasks are gendered, you're not only missing out on things you might enjoy doing, you're also expecting free labor from your partners, which is not cool. If you don't already know how, learn to cook, clean up at least half decently, launder and iron clothing, basic clothing repair, learn to sew on a button and how to patch a worn spot, how to put together a dressed up outfit, including any special grooming, how to take care of your shoes, and probably most importantly, learn how to really listen to someone when they're talking. Get those basics down and you're now ahead of the majority of young men out there. Full independence in this sort of way. It's attractive AF. Problem: you're lonely and have little or no experience with people. Goal: to make friends and / or find romance / sex. Advice: be patient, understand it's a work in progress. Go out and socialize with people. There are social groups you can join. When talking to people, try not to judge them on your expectations. Just simply get to know people and let them get to know you. The more you do this, the easier it gets. Eventually, you will find people who you have things in common with and really enjoy each other's company. The sooner you start investing, the better. If you don't want to think about it, Set up an automatic transfer to a target date retirement fund or total market index fund at a brokerage like Vanguard that has low fees. Even $50 to $100 a month starting when you're 18 will have a big impact later on. Once you have a job with 401k matching, invest at least the amount that it takes to receive the full employer match. That's free money for you and reduces your immediate taxable income. Beyond that, it's arguably worthwhile to balance it with a Roth IRA, which is tax-free upon distribution. Relationships are a marathon, not a dash. You have to start at the beginning. They take work and effort, and if you are looking for shortcuts, you're doing it wrong. Even when you don't get something right now out of a relationship, how you conduct yourself will impact that relationship later and other relationships, because people talk about you and your personality when you are not around. One bad interaction is nothing, but a bad reputation is everything. Even if you never talk to someone ever, you can one day be good friends if you make an effort to say hi to this person. Even if it shocks them that you talk to them so much that they don't even say hi back, they might shock you later by saying hi back the next time your paths cross. If you have a crush on someone, let them know. It's better to know than to live life wondering. They also tend to appreciate the straightforward communication. It's only weird if you make it weird. I'm 31 and just figuring this out. Self-conscious feelings often held me back, and it's been amazing. Also, if you've been high or under the influence of anything for most of your adult life, give it a break. It's better to know what being sober-ish feels like and return to our usage with that lesson, than to never know at all. You may find life is a lot better without. I was a stoner from 17 to 31 and it's been great to let it go. My tip to get a perfect steak. Heat your pan at least 5 minutes, use little oil, you can add a bit of butter. Then put your steak and wait 2 to 3 minutes until it's sealed. Bonus points if it start getting sweat, bloody, then put the salt, how much? A pinch, then flip the steak and repeat the same process. Wait a minute before serving, put some pepper and you're golden. Cooking time may be a bit more depending on the thickness of the steak and the point you want. This gets you a nicey medium rare steak. To make something simple to accompany, wash some potatoes, and poke them with a fork, put on the microwave 4 to 5 minutes per side. So 8 to 10 minutes total depending on the size, use medium size. You don't have to peel them, you can slice them and add some salt and butter. Be ready with some salad, red wine, and dessert. Enjoy. Don't open up about your feelings. As much as she says she wants you to, it's complete crap. It's all just used to hurt you later. One day you'll be sitting on the couch with her, after letting her vent to you and giving her a caring tentative ear, and the minute you start talking about your day she checks out and goes on her phone. And judges you. And tells all her family and friends. She'll start treating you like a massive burden for even just saying, "Oh man, rough day at work but I'm glad to be home." As if it's somehow just unloading some massive emotional baggage. You know, I used to think this, but I realized I was drawing these conclusions from a mindset of taking what I can get. Beggars can't be choosers. I now know better. Women who actually do shit like this are not worth your time, even if they seem like the only game in town and your only chance at a relationship. You and any other man out there do not deserve to have to bottle up your feelings to feel safe with the woman you're with. That's not typical female behavior, that's just an insensitive asshole who happens to be a woman, and people like that should remain single, until they can learn to be better partners.